unit, which is all about glycobiology. So what is glycobiology? So it is a specific area of biochemistry that is concerned with the structures and functions of conjugated carbohydrates. So proteins can be modified by the addition of carbohydrate component to form glycoproteins. So glycoproteins are important class of biomolecules that play a variety of roles and can be found within the cell membrane as well as the extracellular matrix. Oligosaccharides may be attached to proteins through nitrogen atom on the side chain of asparagine, called N linkage, or through the oxygen atom on the side of threonine or serine, called O linkage, through a process called protein glycosylation. Okay, so we have here the asparagine. So we have here the asparagine linking to N-acetylglucosamine. Okay, so there would be an N linkage. On the other hand, to have an O linkage, we have here serine linking to N-acetylgalactosamine. Okay, so we will have an O linkage. Okay. The sites of glycosylation depends on some factors. So we have here the sequence of amino acids surrounding the asparagine, serine, and threonine. It also depends on the type of cell producing the protein and on the overall structure of proteins. N-linked glycosylation begins at the endoplasmic reticulum and is completed at the Golgi apparatus. Okay. On the other hand, O-linked glycosylation takes place entirely at the Golgi complex. So that is the difference between the two types of glycosylation. With the definitions of glycosylation, so we will now be tackling about some examples of glycosylated proteins with an important function in biology. So we have here first the mucin. So mucins are heavily glycosylated proteins produced and released by the epithelial cells. They contain a high number of threonine and serine residues, which means that they can form O-glycosylation linkages. The highly glycosylated characteristics of mucins give them the ability to absorb water. Actually, they form the mucous barriers that lubricate and protect the epithelial tissue. Another example of a glycosylated protein is the erythropoietin or EPO. It is a glycoprotein that consists of 165 amino acids. These asparagine amino acids are N-glycosylated and one serine residue is O-glycosylated. It is produced by cells found in the kidney and it acts as a hormone that stimulates the production of red blood cells. So that is erythropoietin. So that's why it's called erythro. Okay? Glycoprotein is the tissue factor. So this is the glycoprotein that is exposed during trauma. Its exposure leads to the activation of the extrinsic pathway, which in turn stimulates the blood clotting cascade. The last one are the antibodies. These are immunoglobulins used by our immune system to fight off infectious and pathogenic agents. Okay, so we will now proceed to the glycosaminoglycans. So these are a special type of polysaccharide that typically consists of repeating disaccharide units that have been modified to contain an amino group and some sort of negatively charged group. So these molecules include, we have here, chondroitin 6-sulfate, which are found in the extracellular matrix of cartilage and plays the role of absorbing shock. On the other hand, heparin is being released by mast cells at the site of injury and infection and acts as an anticoagulant. Keratan sulfate is found in the bone and cartilage. Like chondroitin 6-sulfate, it plays a role in absorbing shocks in joints. Hyaluronate is found in various connective and epithelial tissue. So the last one are the proteoglycans. So proteoglycans are proteins that are attracted to glycosaminoglycans. So these modified protein sugar biomolecules function as joint lubricants. Okay, so the first one is the serve as lubricants for joints, and it is a structural component of tissue. It binds cells to the extracellular matrix, and it regulates movement of biomolecules or molecules through the matrix. So in connective tissue such as cartilage, the extracellular matrix consists of collagen and proteoglycans called aggrecan. So collagen gives the tensile strength while aggrecan helps dissipate the impact forces and lubricant joints.